And welcome back once again. I am Ryan Keys, your host with Spirituality with a Spin, and I am totally spinning out of control right now. Why am I spinning out of control? Because I was out and about, and I heard a landscaper listening to Bon Jovi. So then I decided I was going to put an 80s song into the mix. So I picked Hold Me Now by the Thompson Twins. I'm odd. I am ecstatically odd. I come from a place of feeling that my oddness is, I embrace it. I embrace my crazy side. Okay, so I have two treats for you today. First off, before I get started, because I do readings, as you all know. I do astrological influences, I Ching, and all that good stuff. So today, I am going to pick an angel card out of my deck for whoever it is for. I don't know who it's for, but if it rings true to you and you want to receive it, go for it. So the number I'm going to pick is number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So this is a good card. It's Adriana, and it is, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen and follow the steps. I'm communicating through your intuition, your thoughts, and your dreams. Ooh. Now, before I move forward, before November leaves, before the month of Thanksgiving is gone, I have to call to attention something that the problem is that I've heard that there's a media black on it, but I don't have TV and I don't have cable. So I haven't had TV or cable for 10 years. I watch on my computer. I have like Netflix and I have Amazon Prime, and that's how I do it, so that I can curtail what I see and I don't have to watch a lot of ads. I've heard there's a media blackout and that the people of Standing Rock are not getting the coverage and the attention that they need for what's going on. Kind of ironic that that's a Thanksgiving Day topic, that we're removing native indigenous people off of their land. With that said, please send energy, please send love, please send light, please say a prayer, and do something in your private moments to send them energy. First idea I wanted to share with everybody: you cannot become too obsessed about a particular idea, a topic, or overly involved in a particular topic where it throws your balance off. No matter what you do in life, balance is necessary. It's like walking a tightrope. You lean too far to the right, you're going to fall off. You lean too far to the left, you're going to fall off. So you need to walk through life with balance. And what does that mean when it comes to twin flames, relationships, and all of those things? Sometimes you have to trust in that which has manifested your whole persona, the creator, the source that has called you, that has put you in your place. You have to trust that even when you don't know, it does. Even when you are afraid, you have a feeling of faith. Don't get too obsessive about any particular thing. It's even like if hypothetically, let's imagine you're like looking for cars. Have you ever noticed, like, when you look for a car and you have a particular car in mind and you want that car, then all of a sudden you'll look for maybe 2 ads or 2 articles on like Auto Trader or something. Then you see that car every single place you turn. It's like you never saw the car before, but now you see it everywhere because you're manifesting it. So if you dive in and you use your manifesting skills to obsess about a particular topic, whether it's twin flame, soulmate, whatever it might be, if you become obsessed about it, you're out of balance. And you will manifest this synchronicity really heavily, and it's going to drive you mad. It's going to drive you completely bonkers. So for your own well-being, take everything with a grain of salt and take everything one step at a time, and don't overweigh yourself in any direction. Always look for balance. That's my piece of advice. You never want to lose yourself in the search of something. The main thing that you're trying to define in this twin flame relationship isn't just the 3D connection with that person. You're trying to really put your life into a perspective. You're trying to really establish a balance inside of yourself, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You're trying to get your temple, your body, your place, your mind seated in a place where it feels secure, it feels strong, it feels satiated, where inner peace is your superpower. And you don't get that way by being out of balance. My body's not going to be happy if I'm only eating In-N-Out hamburgers or Burger King hamburgers all day long. It might taste good to some people, not to me, but it might taste good, but my body is going to be out of balance within a few days. Always seek equilibrium in everything. Any decision you make requires a sound place to make a judgment. And isn't that funny how you say it? A sound place. A place where it resonates. A place where you feel comfortable with that tone. A place where you feel that it's a song and it sings. That's how your inclination should be when you're making decisions. It should sing to you. That is one part of what we're talking about today. The second issue I wanted to say, what is it about this phenomenon that keeps us so driven in that we refuse to address other areas? For instance, I'll post a video about the top signs of the twin flame, and that blows up. That's going viral. Or the union, that blows up and goes viral. But then I'll post a video about self-love or unconditional love or a secret to self-evolution, which is really what will satiate you and get you closer to your twin flame 3D, and that doesn't do as well. So I'm not coming from a place of where I feel insecure about my work or what I'm putting forth. I'm coming from a place of awareness and recognizing a pattern. Pattern is something we need to work on, we need to break. That pattern is be more all-encompassing, all-inclusive of what you're bringing in for this situation. It's the twin flame connection, as direct as you want it to be, as involved as you want it to be, really boils down to you, to help you become the best version of yourself possible. But if you're not going to allow that, and you're not going to understand that it's like a bodybuilder, it goes to the gym and only does arms. He has great arms, but his legs are so tiny, he's out of proportion. So if you're not going to work out the entire body, the entire soul, the entire mind, you're going to be out of balance. Now you see where I'm going with that first part of this conversation? So we need to understand that topics, twin flame, although exciting and necessary and so seductive when it comes to the spiritual coming together, we've got to work on the foundation. We got to lay down the foundation so that your fruit starts to multiply, so that that tree that we're planting will blossom and grow and provide sustenance and fruit to the situation. Think of this twin flame scenario as, and this also helps with astrology. Even when I do a reading, I pull from 3 or 4 different sources for confirmation to give you one reading. Because I'm not going to just go with one thing. Everything has to ring true, or I'm not going to even go forward with the reading. The way this pulls together, the way this comes together, think of our Creator, our God, our source as the roof of the house. It's what shields us, protects us, provides protection for us, and covers us. Then you have a foundation, which is your faith. Faith in yourself, faith in you, faith in the fact that you know that you were divinely orchestrated and created, that you did not climb out of a big mud pit. If you believe in twin flames, there's no way you can believe that you climbed out of a mud pit. I'm sorry. It's conflicting. It is contradictory. So you've got the roof, you've got the floor. The floor is your faith, your foundation, where you came from, where you know the things that you feel secure on, your belief system. The framework, well, that's your combined union soul. The man, the woman, the female, the masculine. It doesn't have to be man and woman, but I'm just using that as a reference so nobody leave crazy stuff down below. So the frame of the house that comes from the foundation to the roof, the frame holds the roof up. That would be the twin flame scaffolding, your soul contract scaffolding, your soulmate scaffolding, your karmic twin scaffolding. All those things that are important markers in your life. And that scaffolding can be forecast through astrology. Astrology is great at providing a basic outline and overview of opportunity and warning because it utilizes the foundation and the traits that are coming together with the scaffolding, the framework. Now, when you put the walls up, you put the fixtures up, you put the windows in, you put the paint on, the carpet, and all that other stuff, that's you. That's all the things that you're doing in your life that are coming together, that are providing the decor, the system, the beautiful moments and the tough moments of your life. all the cracks in the floor, all the cracks in the wall, all the wonderful carpet, all the tapestry, all the beautiful paint, all the beautiful furniture you have in this house is all the circumstantial things that have come from your faith with your foundation and your ability to see your true self and its ability to be able to rise up to fill in the scaffolding of your framework, all under the roof of what your creator, your manifestor, the grand architect, the grand designer, the grandfather, the big daddy. So that's where we're coming from, and that is a place of balance. The twin flame will take care of itself if you are taking care of you. Let me say that one more time on rewind. Are you ready? Sit down, buckle in, and keep your arms and hands inside the ride at all times. The twin flame scenario will take care of itself if you're taking care of you. And what do I mean? I mean taking care of yourself. You're looking out for yourself. Mind, body, soul, emotion, balance. You're eating right. You're looking at the right things. You're doing the right things. You're trying to maintain a high level of spirituality. You're in touch with your emotions. You're expressing your things in your system in the right way. You have problems with somebody, you express yourself. You're not dwelling on things. You're not obsessed about things. You're loving from a place of unconditional love and allowing. You're coming from a conscious decision-making process, not just a self-conscious reactionary lizard brain, you hit me, I hit you back kind of mentality. You're conscious. And I always tell everybody's so worried about working on seeing through the third eye, and they aren't even seeing through the two that they have open right now. So why do you want to add a third one to the mix? Because you're not even seeing through two. Now you got three that you can't see through. Wow, boom. So what motivates us to seek this love? Well, our primary motivation really as a human is to expand ourselves, to increase our abilities and our effectiveness, because we accomplish things, we feel things, and we are experiencing things through our relationships with other people. You have an ability to be affected and to affect. And that's heightened in a relationship. And that would be all kinds of relationships, even at work. Everything is a relationship. If you know somebody, like I know a guy at Trader Joe's, and I see him every time I go there, I have a relationship with him. We're not hanging out and stuff, but we interact. He knows who I am, I know who he is, and he remembers me to ask certain things about me, and vice versa. That's a relationship. So when you're talking about self-expansion in the process of actually falling in love, normally we fall in love with somebody that we find attractive and appropriate for us. And they've demonstrated a high level of attraction to us. It has basically created a situation where we've gotten an opportunity to open up with someone else and expand our consciousness with them. They've attracted us, it's presented to us as an opportunity, and we feel this surge of exhilaration. The butterflies are tingling, the synchronicity is going off, and we're sitting in our sizzle. And we are on, right? And is it always going to be the same way every time? No. Certain things are going to register more. And as we get older, we find different things more attractive than others. So you have to be flexible. You have to always know that you're changing, like Wayne Dyer said. I'm not the same person or the same body I was 10 years ago. So how I perceive things, my perception, my reality, how I interact has changed. And you have to be aware of that. And that comes back to the place of seeking balance. Balance within yourself, balance with what you do, balance with how you will live your life. If you are trying to figure out right now, let's say you are single, you're stressed, you've had a karmic relationship or a soulmate, and you want to be more open to finding love, what do? Well, you have to nudge yourself into the now. Little changes make big opportunities for greatness. Doing something different every day opens up a different door where God or the universe can interject and provide stimulus. Doing the same thing and expecting the same result is insane in the brain. So let's say you're at a political rally, like whatever it is, or you're on a plane, you're at a performance, you're at a coffee shop, you're shopping at the mall, you're cutting a Christmas tree, you are going to a school play, you are surfing, you're on a vacation, whatever it might be, you have done something out of your ordinary construct, and you've given yourself an alternative, open opportunity for somebody to meet you. So that's always going to help you if you are feeling bound up, like your opportunities are not expanding. You have to consciously be aware and open to going for that. One of you is going to have a lot more logical interjection into the situation. Generally, it's not going to be super equal on all aspects. Somebody's going to be more spiritual and vibrant in the belief system. Somebody's going to be more logical and more of the, that analytical part. The analytical, thought conscious, logical person is going to be like, oh, no, I'm a little scared right now. So they're going to calculate risks. They're going to weigh in past trauma, past risks, and they're going to be probably the one that's going to pull away. Pace yourself. Don't. This fire's got to burn forever. Don't set a bonfire and then pour gasoline on it so that shit burns down in 24 hours. If this is your twin flame, if this is an experience that you've been waiting your whole life for, let it burn slowly, surely. Let it glow. Let those embers kick up that heat. Because when those embers get bright red and full, and that's when the heat is the hottest. And that's when those coals stay and they maintain that warmth. All of these things are about seeking balance. Balance in all relationships, balance in your work life, balance in your health life, balance in the twin flame. Because the twin flame situation is so intense that you need to come from a good foundation. If you're not willing to expand your consciousness, expand your learning capacity to building a base, you're going to have a difficult time. What does a twin flame even mean? I mean, the twin flame refers to that flame of creation that lives in each soul. Just the nature that we say flame. Let's relate it to a campfire. You have to really work that fire to keep it alive. So the two flames are now burning from one, and they inhabit different bodies that are when they're incarnating the flesh. So it's important to note that the soul itself, in that primary split, if it is eternal and if we live multiple lives, you've had this situation over and over and over. If you've done it multiple times and you've gotten it right sometimes, you haven't gotten it right sometimes, understand it's going to be a little difficult. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some understanding. You got to dive into this human experience, really. And even when you're going through separation, I mean, understand that if you imagine like the splitting up and how dramatic it is, how it feels, how you're going through that, if you dive into the essence of developing your internal person and really understanding who this person is that you are, why do you feel this way, what has transpired, and you allow yourself time to grow, that separation stage is immensely beneficial. But if you're just locking yourself in the room and you're crying nonstop and you revert to past trauma and past anger, you're not going to, number one, you're not going to get through it as easy. Number two, you're not going to learn the lesson you need to learn. And then, like I always have been saying, the twin flame will take care of itself. So imagine that for one moment, that was not your twin flame. Imagine that was your karmic twin. Well, if you're just focusing on the union and being the best person that you can bring to the union and being the highest conscious being, always continually evolving, always continually being open and allowing, if you're focused on that, and that's how you're driving forward with your mission and your calling, the twin flame is going to take care of itself, because there's no amount of tugging and pulling and scratching that you're going to do to bring that person back if they've run. And I come from a firm belief. I have a hard time understanding that. I don't know that, I mean, it's really hard for me to believe that something from God, something ordained by God in that kind of a situation could ever cut you off completely and just ghost your ass. And that was one of the things that I understood, and that's how I actually came to the knowledge when I had two false flames in my past life. And that made complete sense on how I addressed that, and I understood that. Because when I'm coming from a place of betterment and accessing a higher level of consciousness in myself, they're not going to cause so much chaos in my life if they are the one. It's going to take work. It's going to be work, but it's not going to destroy everything about my life. It's not going to leave me like just all chaotic. Everybody has their own interpretation. Everybody has their own understanding of that. And if you don't have your twin at the moment, understand again, like I said, if you're seeking an accelerated path of spiritual love, spiritual self, drawing to your highest level of awareness for yourself, that destiny, that gift is going to be placed in your path. That's just how it works. When you're working on you, it's going to come through. And I wanted to address one facet of this entire equation that we always have to maintain and understand. Free will. Free will is a huge role in life. It gives you the opportunity to drive your own vehicle wherever you want. Karma is what dictates your path. If I take a left and I'm going down this road and it's not paved and I get a flat tire, I've chosen to go off-road into an area which is not designed necessarily for my type of vehicle. So that's an example. So free will is reflected in karma, whether you're doing positive or negative, whether it's from a present or past. It's an automatic process, like water, like magnets, like the ocean, like throwing a rock in the pond when you get ripples. So you make a choice, boop, and that rock goes in the pond. Those ripples are your karma, and free will has expanded. So every day you make thousands of decisions. And that's why I say do one thing different every day, so it helps to change your overall destiny of karma. And that's when you're able to utilize the astrology as a tentative grid work for your path. Think of astrology as like the Random McNally Road Atlas. It gives you the road that will get you from Los Angeles to New York. It tells you which exits and everything else. But it's not going to tell you there's a Target on exit 81, or if you need gas, you're not going to have any gas stations for 100 miles. That's free will, and that's karma. Astrology would be that map, and you can utilize that as a basis for making good decisions in life if you need it. You don't need it. You don't need anything other than just being you. But if you need something, like we don't need a totem, we don't need crystals, we don't need anything other than us. But because it helps us to access higher levels of consciousness, because we have an object or we have an idea or we have a concept. Because it's very difficult to get from 3D to 5D without attuning ourselves with something outside of ourselves. Because we haven't truly evolved to the place of being able to sit outside of ourselves completely yet. Now, Terence McKenna has done that using psychotropic drugs. I haven't tried that. I haven't really felt the need to. I'm interested. If you've tried that, please leave me some info down below on what that was like. But so that's about the only time, or like with my near-death experience, I was able to climb out of the 3D and go into the 5D, right? When you're going through this, free will is also going to affect things. If I make a decision, it's going to have ripples. It's going to roll through the ripples. Those ripples are going to roll into you. You're going to feel my free will, and we become an interworking kind of a social karmic karma. That's why I've always said, just because I want to save the world and I sit at my house and don't do anything to save it, well, I might have good karma for myself, but I'm not establishing social karma. So when there's a desert that surrounds my house because global climate shift, and I'm like, well, but I stood for the earth. You didn't become part of a more cohesive ripple. Because all of us have to come together with free will as free-willed beings to work on social karma, the big picture, co-creating to change the fabric, to change the awareness. And that's what I believe is one of the prime motivators for this heightened experience with the twin flame relationship. We're being called in a social karmic evolution of how we're seeing our life unfold, of how we're interacting across the world. Global. Be aware of your consciousness. It's powerful. It's free will. It's freedom of choice. Whatever choice you make is going to evolve into the karma that you have. You've made a large level of social soul contracts. Whether it's like you've chosen your destination from birth. Like, let's imagine I'm born in Los Angeles, and when I'm born, I chose that I'm going to live in Paris. I've manifested that Paris as an end game. So all the things that are happening in between, I've made certain soul contracts with different things to get me there. But the karmic solutions and karmic wheel that turns in the process are the choices I've made with my free will. So again, let's reiterate, let's talk balance, balance, balance. You're looking for balance, balance, balance. The more you learn to love, respect, and honor and appreciate yourself and those around you, the more that people can love you, the real you, and the more that you're living in your authentic sunshine, the more that the sun will shine on you, and the more that your twin will be attracted and dive in with you. That should all make sense, I would think. So that is all I have for today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your understanding. Peace, light, and love. Subscribe so you stay up to date, because I do get crazy and upload at different times. But Thursday and Sunday are my direct days. Be involved. Like a video if you listen to it. If you're this far and you don't click like, even if you click you don't like, I don't care. Just be involved. Be involved. This is a community we're creating. This is your channel. Own it. Operate it. Be involved. Please. Peace, light, and love, and I will see you on the other side.